Welcome to Tulsa. So today was day one of Tulsa Tough. Not gonna spoil it, but it wasn't the best day ever. It also wasn't the worst. I think that I performed well considering how I've been feeling. I still am not feeling good, but it was the biggest field I've ever raced in, 125 guys. It was only 45 minutes, but it was an awesome day out there. I was prepared for the heat. I had a good starting position, clipped in well. Now, I'm gonna go to watch the pros race. Johnny, who I'm staying with, is gonna race. My coach Iman's gonna race. I'm really excited, gonna get some footage. You guys are probably watching that footage right now before I break down how exactly my race went. So yeah, let's get into that and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So yeah, day one of Tulsa Tough, my first ever Tulsa Tough, and I start right behind CJ Williams. An awesome dude who I was looking forward to draft off of because his lines are just next level. As you see here, we start really fast and not being confident in how my body was feeling. Knowing that I've been having that limit of 15 to 20 minute effort, I just decided to use the beginning to move up as much as possible so that then I would have that buffer to move backwards as my legs just left the chat. Anyways, super awesome course. I will definitely make sure to get my body in check and come back next year and just crush it. I feel like this is the perfect weekend for me. I enjoyed every single one of the courses. And this specifically, this course on called Blue Dome on Friday night, was really fast. This back straight was really bumpy, but nothing horrible because it was on a straightaway. The corners were very smooth and wide, and if you knew the line to take, you could save quite a bit of energy. Like I mentioned before, this is one of the, if not the biggest field I've ever raced in of 125 guys. I'm almost at the front here, but you see that you can't see the front or the back of the race where I'm at right now. That's how big the group is. I learned before even coming to this race that the best line to take on the course was the outside line. I learned that from NorCal Cycling. Of course, everyone's probably watched that video, and it is very, very factual. The outside line in this course is ridiculously faster than if you were to be on the inside or just in the middle of the group, because you're able to pedal through the corners since they're so wide and just carry more speed onto the following straightaway. As you see here, I didn't even stop pedaling, and now I'm going faster so I can rest on this downhill. The only corners that I would take on the inside of the figure eight was that second one just there, and then obviously the one opposite that on the other side of the course. So lots of strong people. This is probably the most popular Criterium in the US. There were 2 Legion members. Like I mentioned before, CJ, the oldest of the Williams brothers. I believe he's the oldest or the youngest. I don't know. One of the Williams brothers, Jason Paez as well, was with him, probably trying to get some upgrade points if I had to guess. But yeah, a lot of strong dudes. I wasn't feeling strong at all, but I was I had the trip booked and I could not miss on the opportunity to just take part in such an iconic race with such iconic crowds and just an awesome environment overall. I don't think there's any other reason I would go to Tulsa if not for this. And so here at the end of lap 2, you see that I am very close to the front. On that corner, I could see the front of the race. Right behind me is a homie that I raced with in Phoenix FUS at the beginning of the year. Great wheel. We chatted a bit. It's just nice to keep up with the guys that you race with all over the country. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to break down kind of just how my race went and exactly what happened. Obviously here I'm on the second lap, still kind of learning the course, close to the front. I see an opportunity here again to move up a little bit. I follow this guy even though I'm a little squeezed and hold outside line to just stay towards the front while not using a crazy amount of energy, because you almost use more just by being at the back, and the the accordion that happens after, behind that bubble that is the peloton. So again, trying to stay towards the front while I have energy to do so and just enjoy the experience here in downtown Tulsa as we enter lap 3. I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit here because it kind of the same just keeps going on for a little bit. So we're going to go to lap 9, and you see the field bunch up quite a bit. At this point, I start realizing how I can save even more energy and how I can use the draft of the whole group to my benefit. Here on the rear camera, you see coming on my right, Mike, who is also coached by Iman like myself, who I got to race with and meet, and it was awesome. He's got a strong team of guys, as you see them kind of coming all over my rear and also front camera. So it was cool to see teams bring in numbers for this race and all the races of the weekend. So yeah, here in lap 10, you see that I let go a little bit of the wheel on the straightaways because I know that I'm just going to be able to use the corner to bunch up or bring myself back onto the wheel, so that way I'm able to save a little bit of extra energy. Because again, I know I've said this a few times, but my goal in these races, and especially this weekend, is to just save as much energy as possible and see how long I can last in the race. At this point, I'm obviously quite a bit tired already, 10 laps in, starting to slowly fade towards the back of the group, and then using these corners to thrust myself through the group more forward. If that makes any sense. So you see that I kind of keep the line smooth, keep pedaling as much through the corner as possible. I have really short crank arms on my bike, so I'm able to do so without having to worry about clipping a pedal. And then you see I save energy on the straightaway where most people are pedaling, and then use the momentum to be as glued to the wheel in front of me as possible. And that helps definitely for a while. And at this point, this being the first race of the weekend, which for me is the first race in a while without counting the local crits and stuff, I wanted to see if I was recovered from whatever's been going on, and if I could last the whole race, which in this case was only 45 minutes. Days 2 and 3 for us were an hour, but this first day was just 45 minutes. So yeah, very fast race of the category 1s and 2s, and you see things start getting a little spicy. You see people going on the inside and outside, trying to move up, as I'm trying to use that strategy of using momentum to bunch up, and unfortunately puts me in a bad position here. I really had nowhere to go there. Let's look at this again. Someone goes down, and that's exactly where I'm going. So I braked a lot, braced myself, and fortunately it was okay. The bike was okay. You see I literally got back up seconds later. Look at the bike, it's all working, jump on, and I'm off to the pit. So yeah, I took a couple free laps. The mechanics adjusted my handlebars, which came out of alignment, and I hopped back on 2 laps later. So here we are on lap 13, where the field is just going by fast, and me and whoever else was in the pit has to rejoin and just hope for the best. In my opinion, it's not ideal to take a break like that in the middle of a race. It really throws your legs for a loop. So it was taking a while for me to get used to it again, if I even was able to at all. Again, I was already tired, and being behind the bubble that is the peloton and this accordion part of the group, if you will, is a lot harder to do what I was doing before, of using the straightaways to save energy and then using the corners to move myself up. So that's why in that back straight there, I try to put in a little bit of an effort to move myself even more forward so that I can be in a better position to last longer. So I have a little bit of energy that came from that break or something. I don't know exactly where it came from, but so I try to move up. We skipped again about 3 laps here, and you see that at this point I can't keep surging. So takes me a little bit actually to realize that that I'm falling back, and I'm not trying to be in anyone's way, even though I'm opening this gap. Once I do realize that, I try to move aside and try to be as smooth as possible in moving backwards in the group, unfortunately. So the guys start going around me, and yeah, I'm just riding it out, waiting for the last guy to come through. It ends up taking a couple laps to actually get to the back of the group, which is, you know, important thing to know, I guess. Can be useful for someone, that you can just take your time navigating the group and not, if you don't have energy, which is the case for me here. I'm almost at 190 beats per minute for heart rate, which is really high for me. And I just have no power. You see, I can barely get to 200 watts on that finish line, which is a little bit uphill. And everyone's just coming around me. As you see here into corner 2, I am second to last wheel. The last guy is actually about to come around me. So yeah, he comes around me, and that's the end of it for me. I lasted about 35 of the 45 minutes. I think with 5 to go is when I just had nothing else. But tomorrow's day 2, and I can't wait for you guys to see that video.